Hey, how you doing? Right, I'm James at Bern's Drums, and I'm going to talk you through some spare parts. Felts, sleeves, wing nuts, wing bolts, and hi-hat clutches. Right, so let's get on with it then. Okay, so you get to the studio, you put your new cymbals on the stand. Oh, wait a minute, what's this? What's on here? Nothing. Ugh. Right, but fortunately, in my stick bag, I usually keep a spare sleeve or two. Well, actually a whole bunch of these, because you know what it's like. There's never anything on these stands. And some spare felts. So, this has actually got a thread just in the very top, so you can just pop it on and then thread it down, which is very handy. And then just pop a couple of felts on here too. Rocking. And now I can put my nice new crash on there and not worry about it. Super. Okay, here's one. You've got your hi-hat clutch and it's missing all bits. How frustrating is that? Right, so in my stick bag I've always got a spare hi-hat clutch. Definitely a good idea. Right, but let's just talk about what's going on here, what's wrong with this picture here. These are lock nuts. These are not for holding the cymbals between, okay? Okay, so hi-hat clutches, what's the deal? Well, it's so frustrating. You always get this, don't you? Maybe you haven't got enough for the felts, these little mini felts, or people are using the lock nuts to hold the cymbal on. So here's how it should be. You have two lock nuts on the top there. Okay, see them? Two on the top. Then a felt. Then your cymbal goes on. Okay. So then another felt, and let's just put a bolt on the top. So, I hope you can see. Bolt underneath a felt there, and then you've got two lock nuts on the top. Why is there two? Well, because you can change the sound of your hi-hats quite a lot, and also how much movement there is by tightening these up. So I had a pair of hi-hats that were a bit ringy, so I tightened up the felts on them. Sounded great. But then it's nice to have it moving a lot, so loose is also cool. But either way, that's how you're going to adjust it with these two lock nuts. So the top one just holds that one in place. That's why there's two on top. So two on top, and then the big one is usually underneath. So there, that's your hi-hat clutch explained. Okay, let's get down to some nuts and bolts. He says, picking up some nuts and bolts. Right, here we are. What's this? It's the 8mm Gibraltar wing nut, and here is the 8mm wing screw or wing bolt. Okay, so why would we want spares of these, and what for? Let's have a look around the drum shop at some different stands and see where these are going to fit. Okay, so first up, the wing screw. So there's a Gibraltar wing screw, wing bolt in its packet. They come as a packet of two. Here we are. Here's a pearl one in situ on a hi-hat stand. So again, it's 8mm. That would replace one of those if you lost one. Sonat hi-hat stand, same thing. There's your 8mm wing bolt, so you could replace one from that stand. Oh look, here we are, walking over here. Mapex cymbal stand. There's another one of these. Again, you can replace it if you lost one. And also on all sorts of drum stools and things. And over here, look, what's this? Oh, wing nut. So there's one on a tom fitting. So that's the Gibraltar one. Now that could also be up here on top of your cymbals. So that's a handy piece of gear because you could put your cymbals on with it, but also you could use that to repair something. So great bit of gear to have. In fact, well, I thought that was it there on that DW stand. Almost the same. And again, that would fit on any of these fittings here if a bit came off. Right, lots of drumming going on, so it's a bit noisy. But what would you expect? Anyhow, here's a old cymbal stand. Now on the older ones, or budget ones these days, you'll find sometimes you've got a 6mm thread, not an 8. But it's only if you've got an old thing like this, or a budget one from say a CB kit or something like that, that you're going to have a 6mm thread here on your cymbal stand. But guess what? They do a 6mm version. So here's the 6mm Gibraltar threaded wing nut. Just the same, heavy duty, but in a 6mm. Right, okay, that's enough spare parts. See you next time. Hope you found that informative, and happy drumming. Bye.